Testing, testing. Can you all hear me? Sweet. Day has been definitely full of some trials. Stop. Two more things and then we're good to go. Around with it later on and figure out how to fix the saturation. Okay. Now, 2 players have readied up. And we'll be able to do a little bit of introduction, all the formalities and stuff. And we'll be good to go. Thank you all for being patient. This is really the first time I've experienced issues on my side. This particular song is from Dragon Ball FighterZ West City, if I'm not mistaken. No problem. That's good. there we go. All right. Maddie and Rins, when you two are ready, we'll be able to get started. But in the meantime, hello everybody, welcome back to the classic Tetris Gauntlet Overdrive Playoffs. I'm your favorite underwater host, Sharky, and tonight we have a pivotal match in the series. The Millionaires are currently up 2-0. This is the first to 3 series, so if they win this match, then they take the entire tournament. The Wavey ones have to win this match to extend the series, and things are looking pretty interesting. We do have a pretty stacked lineup. Both teams seem to have some pretty compatible players, so I dare I say, it should be an even match up for tonight. But coming up first, we're going to have Maddie versus Rins. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at their stats here. As you can see, over the regular season, both Maddie and Rins have a 4-1 season record. Maddie generally has a higher, or goes further into the post-transition, with a post-transition index of 58. Rins tends to top out around that level 21, level 20-ish level. But as far as, just post-transition index, Rins has everything else, the higher average score, a massive advantage in terms of rate of transition, and a higher average transition as well. But that is just for the regular season. There's a couple other things that happen in the playoffs specifically, and this is where Rins really shines. As you can see here, Rins has a higher average transition, has a astounding 91% rate of reaching transition, higher average score, and post-transition index, as well as playoff record. Maddie is yet to transition in the playoffs, and she is definitely looking to change that for tonight. That being said, it appears that Maddie is ready. Rins is finishing up this last game, so let's go ahead and check out our 2 players. Also, if you want to join the Gauntlet Discord server, you can type !Gauntlet, because we do have an announcement that's coming at the end of the stream, and you'll be pinged in the Gauntlet Discord server for said announcement. Of course, you want to contribute to the Matcherino for the tournament. We're currently at $1,100. So if you want to contribute, just type !CTG Matcherino. If you want to see the bracket, just type CTG bracket. But once we have it ready from Rins, then we are good to go. All right. Looks like both players are, in fact, ready. So let's go ahead and count them down to game number 1. Can the Wavey ones start to pull off a comeback here in the series, or will the Millionaires shut them out? We're about to find out in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. So, of course, both of these players having strong regular season appearances, but this is also the playoffs. There's a lot on the line, especially in the case of Rins. Rins is essentially almost one of the most important players that are going to be playing in tonight's match. That's simply because that can determine whether or not the Wavey ones have an overall advantage or a disadvantage going into the rest of tonight's matchup. And Maddie accidentally started on, it would appear, transition trainer. So yeah, we're gonna have to do a reset. So Rins, go ahead and top out. This is just a reset. All right. We can get readies again. Make sure you're not on transition trainer this time, Maddie. That'd be a good thing. I'm not doing my intro all over again. You can just pretend like you heard my intro and then we're just getting started into the next game. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. There we go. Things are normal here. But as I was saying, this is a very pivotal match for Rins to win. Renz can win this, the Wavey ones stand a good chance of winning this overall. Tonight's matchups do have a slight favor in the Ruby setup, and in the Platinum setup that plays third instead of playing first. As you can see, we have Maddie and Renz playing up first. In the Platinum setup, there does seem to be kind of like an even on either side in terms of just both players' competitive prowess. But all of these matches can go any way, and it's up to Renz to kind of give his team the boost that they need to try and potentially take this to a game 4. But oh, Maddie, a couple of misdrops, and contrary to what we saw earlier in the season, Maddie is rolling, and Maddie's going to top out at 54,000. Renz is already good for game number 1. All right, both players are ready, so we're going to get right back into game number 2 here. We go in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. The first game goes in favor of Renz currently. It's a best of 5. So there's still a chance for Maddie to equalize this. However, this has kind of been the story of Maddie for the entirety of the playoffs, where Maddie has lost all of her games due to early top-outs. And it now looks like she's getting hit hard with a drought. Smart double right there. Renz already is going to take the lead. More weight is getting put on top of that hole in column 5. Good pieces so far. Looks like Maddie should be able to open this up with the next piece. Yeah, there it is. Great survival. Tetris ready. And there it is, Tetris for Maddie. Finally able to start getting more points on the board. Had scored 1 Tetris in the early game, and just kind of got into an uncomfortable situation. And now it's both of these players, or it's Renz's turn to experience a little bit of tribulation. $129 to now $153. Renz experiencing some mild complications. And this gave Maddie an opportunity to actually take the lead with that Tetris. Renz does get cleaned up. Smart burn over there for Maddie. Looking for now a J piece. These look pretty stable for both players. The stacks look clean and doesn't seem to be really too many issues. Renz is going to open up the well. Tetris ready. There is Tetris for Renz. Trailing behind Maddie by just over half a Tetris. Or rather, just under a Tetris at this point. Just around the halfway mark till the post-transition. You can kind of see in this game, Maddie is kind of swapped to tapping. definitely can be a source of early top outs if you're, you know, just starting the roll, or even not even if you're just starting, if you're still trying to get used to the rolling playstyle. It's such a precise technique. And it's easy to have, you know, just one small input go wrong. But so far, things are going right for Maddie. 325 for Maddie, 288, make that 310 for Renz. Trailing by potentially 2 Tetrises in pace. Safety triple over there for Maddie. And decided to throw the L piece over to the left-hand side. Does get another L. Follows up with another triple into a Tetris. So, he's going to be ahead by just over a Tetris here. As the post-transition looms. Tetris for Maddie, 406 to now 335. Oh, things just look pretty clean. Both players in a reasonable position. I wouldn't say it's particularly comfortable for Renz. Definitely is comfortable for Maddie following that Tetris. Transition is approaching. Two Tetrises left potentially for both players. Renz can try and grab one more. Maddie can only get one. And there it is. Maddie is going to transition at 464 and decided to swap to rolling, make a couple of misdrops, and that might have been a fatal mistake. Can't get anything over. Maddie's going to top out at 464. Definitely you get more movement with rolling, but trying to find a clean switch, definitely a difficult position. Renz now in a position here to take the first, or the second game of the set. He needs 3,000 more points. And a little bit of a delay burn there. Triple would do it, but does so with 2 quick Tetrises. Renz takes game number 2. All right, both players are ready, so let's go ahead and count them down to game number 3. Renz is up 2-0. See if he can keep it up. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Start things off. Maddie had a little bit of trouble. Renz able to find a Tetris as well. Of course, Maddie needs to take this to extend this particular set. Made it to transition, so it was the first transition that they have had all playoffs. But unfortunately, it didn't last too long. So it needs to replicate that success and do it 3 more times. Renz, of course, has 3 chances and essentially to put this away. And in terms of what Renz needs to do for his team, this is exactly what needs to be done. It's just to close things out and to give the Wavey ones essentially an advantage. Past 2 matches, they have lost 3-1. And they do have a pretty strong sudden death record. Maddie getting in a little bit of trouble. Playing with fire, gets the eyepiece over. Keeping the well clean, safe, and open. It's going to take the safety double. There it is, another Tetris for Maddie. Rins is on fire right now. And a perfect clear from Maddie. And Rins able to get that piece all the way over to the left, demonstrating the power of rolling when wielded in the right hands, but it's not quite over yet. This is still a little bit complicated, but this is a perfect opportunity for Maddie. Has been down majority of the game and now has a chance to build up a lead. And Rins, amazing survival, great placement on that L. Gonna find a double. Still a tricky solution. Nice adjustment last second. But worth every input. Rins now finally bringing the stack down to around where you would have your projected next box height. Not what you see on the overlay. And Rins is going to be good. Phenomenal down stacking, and looks like Maddie might be getting into a similar down stacking position. She was able to build up a Tetris lead, potentially more in terms of pace, but can't let that get squandered away here. Needs to try and be efficient, looking for an L piece. Converts it into a J piece dependency. Perfect pieces right there for Maddie. And Tetris for Maddie. 356 to now 343. Maddie hits the Z spin, sets up a delay burn with the T piece. Is now Tetris ready. Rins steadily firing back. Knocks down another Tetris. We are nearing the transition. And Maddie, upon transitioning last game, swapped to roll. The question is, are they going to stay tapping, or are they going to attempt another roll swap here? And it looks like Maddie is going to swap to roll a lot earlier than what we saw in the last game. Set up for a column 4. Rins having to do some burning. We take the safety double over there for Maddie. Tetris for Rins. And Tetris for Maddie almost rolled too much, a little bit of a double rotation there, able to fix it. And deciding not to burn it out immediately. Rins is going to transition at 445, takes the safety triple. And Tetris for Rins goes up to 475. Another Tetris for Rins, 500,000. Maddie, looks like has managed to get a pretty decent grip here on 18. Let's see what happens on 19 here. It's not going to be going clean. Oh, the double flip. And Maddie's in trouble. Needs the eyepiece. Can't get it rotated. And Rins with a sweep is going to take game number 3. And the Wavey ones go up 1-0. Maddie once again making it to transition. But we're not seeing the same Maddie that we saw earlier in the playoffs. We're going to try and get our next 2 players up. Yeah, if you can, that'd be great. I accidentally got somebody in the wrong room. Ninjas, thank you for the sub. There might... Hold on, we might be running into... See, is SV playing anywhere? This could be bad. Actually getting last season flashbacks. Do have our player from the Wavey ones in. There. Not there either. Yikes. Well, it looks like there could potentially be a forfeit. We don't hear from our players from the Millionaires. We might be looking at a forfeit. As per the rules of Gauntlet no-shows. There isn't any replacements either. It happens. Kind of unfortunate to happen when the Millionaires are on a tournament point. Definitely less than ideal. No problem, Ninja. we don't hear anything from SV in the next 3 minutes, then we'll have to forfeit the match. Confirming to see if our next 2 players would be ready to play. So actually probably until I get a confirmation from Orlando. I mean, it's bound to happen. Today has been... It's been rough. Not a fun day. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Players knew about this match happening very far in advance. So it is what it is. Yeah, they knew since the 28th of December, or not December, January. So, just about a week and a day in advance. Oh. I don't have anything. This is disheartening. Hey Zay Lol. We're waiting on responses from players. So player that was supposed to be up next is nowhere to be found, and one of the following players that is supposed to be up next is unresponsive. So yeah, fun times. Oh man, hope you guys are having a fantastic day. If you haven't already, go check out the YouTube video uploaded on Classic Tetris. It's Dog vs. Sidnev, semi-finalist from Waco. Probably one of my best LAN commentary performances. It probably is my best. In terms of just overall commentary, it's up there. All right. Well, due to a player not showing up, match number 2 has to be forfeited, as according to Gauntlet rules, so the Wavy ones now go up 2-0. So up next, we're going to be having Grand Designs versus Morlando. Fun times. So, the Wavy ones only need to win one more match, and they would have survived game number 3. Of course, we'll still have Miles and Sidnev play. We do have Morlando in. Grand Designs is on his way. Alright, once we have what players are in and everything, we'll be able to get things started. Hey, him. We're having a tech issue on Grand Design's end. But Grand Design's here, so. Who's that? All right, we can't figure out what the issue is. But we're working on getting it resolved. Yeah. And I guess if there's any takeaway, just know that not everything runs perfect. And you gotta try and make the best of whatever situation you're currently going through. So hopefully we'll be able to at least finish out the match, and then next match we'll have a better one. Thank you all for being patient, by the way. I really appreciate it. All right, we do have Grand Designs as gameplay, so thank you all for being so patient. My dude Morlando started building up Secret Grade. Secret Grade is hard, actually. All right. Whew. Thank y'all for being so patient. But yeah, we are going to be getting into our next match, which is Grand Designs versus Morlando. The Wavey Ones are up 2-0 and are potentially on the path to be the first team to ever beat the Millionaires twice. No team this season has managed to beat the Millionaires more than once, and the Wavey Ones have a chance to do it right here in match number 3 of the series. But talking about match number 3, let's talk about our match number 3, or team match number 3. Let's talk about match number 3 here for the Wavey Ones and the Millionaires right now, which is going to be GD versus Morlando. So if we take a look at their regular season statistics, this is actually probably as close as you can get in this particular matchup with how both of these players line up with things. GD with a slightly higher average transition, Morlando with a slightly higher average score. Now GD does have favor in the rate of transition being around 13% higher, and has on average 14 more lines scored in the post transition than Morlando. But season record wise, Morlando is 2-2, GD is 3-1. But that's where the closeness kind of stops, because when we take a look at the playoff stats though, everything is in the favor of Morlando. Average transition, rated transition, average score, post transition index. The only thing that isn't necessarily in Morlando's favor is the sudden death record and the playoff record, which both players are 2-1 here in the playoffs. But with that being said, both players are finishing up their warm-ups now, and so when they are ready, we'll be able to get them counted down. Grand Designs has to win this in order for the Millionaires to stand a chance to win this match. If Morlando wins this, the Wavey Ones stay alive for one more set, potentially 2 if they can win match number 4. Nice try, Moreland. At least you were able to get the turnaround. I get stuck at the turnaround, so good on you for that. It's probably the hardest part of that. All right. We do have it ready from Grand Designs. Now we just need it ready from Orlando. All right, you got it ready from both players. Thank you so much for being patient. Let's go ahead and count them down. Can Grand Designs give the Millionaires one last string of hope in order to take this match tonight? Or will Orlando seal their fate and bring us to a game 4? Here we go in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. This is going to be quite a high pressure situation that I guess you can say both players are in. And that's kind of, you know, one of the situations with Gauntlet being a team format. When you have certain situations like this, you have the added pressure of not just playing for yourself to, you know, win and get elo and things of that nature, but you're playing for a team. And when your team is put in a tough bind like this, you're being asked to, you know, perform. Now, in this particular matchup, Orlando and Grand Designs are pretty evenly matched. Grand Designs, of course, getting a max out recently. Orlando has had a max out for a while, and we've seen how close their stats were during the regular season. So Grand Designs can kind of channel that same energy here into the playoffs. It is possible for us to at least go into a captain's match and have that be a determining factor of whether or not we go to sudden death or the Wavey ones successfully defeat the Millionaires for a second time. But to start things off, both players with some pretty, I would arguably say that they're comfortable board states. Orlando off to a 1 Tetris lead. Grand Designs now actually getting a couple of tricky pieces. T-piece would go perfect. Unfortunately, doesn't get a T-piece in time, so it's going to have to compromise. It's dependent on an L. Let's see the adjustment. It's going to find a way to burn out. Meanwhile, Orlando, what a start here. Almost a 60,000 point lead. And with a board state like this, has the potential to continue to grow it. Although Grand Designs is going to be able to start scoring back, so lead can stay around the 59 or just about 60,000 mark. Another Tetris for Orlando. 214 to now 135. Orlando setting up a delayed Vitz. Does get the eyepiece for it, but this is going to be a little bit of a burn, and Grand Designs can utilize this opportunity. Orlando not going for the triple. Finally has to take it. Just need to be a little bit careful. Grand Designs knocks down a Tetris, chopping a little bit off the lead. Orlando commits to a slightly dirty Tetris, knocks it down as well. Looks like Orlando might be going for, yeah, it's going to go for a center well. Channeling a little bit of Quaid there. If it was a dirty center well, that'd be channeling Josh Tolles, who's recently made a return to competitive online Tetris. Love to see more of him in the near future. 257 for Grand Designs, 298 for Orlando. Orlando with a slightly cleaner board, and actually a couple of poor timing on those pieces, really preventing Orlando from utilizing that long bar for a Tetris as Grand Designs holds out for a J piece or an I piece to oh, nice find over there for Grand Designs, using that Z piece to burn out the double. Now is in the midst of a drought. Down by 60,000 points. And wow, this, yeah, more Grand Designs getting hit with a gauntlet drought right now. Orlando knocks down a dirty Tetris. 42 piece drought, and it's still going. Oh my gosh. 47 pieces, and Grand Designs finally scores the Tetris. Phenomenal drought management right there. I think that has been the highest drought that we've seen in the finals here. And Grand Designs just simply unfazed. Of course, unfortunately, that drought did put Grand Designs in a position down by almost 100,000 points. And we're going to be heading to the post-transition soon as well. Tetris for Grand Designs and Tetris for Orlando. 448 to now 370. And ooh, a little bit of a questionable eye placement right there. Grand Design's gonna have to take 4 burn lines. Grand Design's going for the triple flip on the L. And Orlando still about to manage a 500k transition. But Orlando does need to be careful. Is going to transition at 503. Opens up the well. And Tetris for Orlando goes up to 530, a 144,000 point lead as Grand Designs runs into yet again another drought and only 1 line to burn left till transition. Takes a double and knocks down a Tetris, transition at 393 and goes up to 417. Grand Designs knocks down another Tetris, 441. Starting to put some pressure on Orlando. Orlando not quite in a position to score. Grand Design's going to opt to take a safety burn with that. And Orlando experiencing more complications. The Grand Designs can get a good set of pieces here. That I piece is going to help. Going to score a triple. Down by 100,000 points now. And both players kind of doing some little bit of synchronized burning on 21. But Grand Designs now Tetris ready. And there it is. Tetris for Grand Designs. 483 to now 577. Grand Designs is set up for another one. Waiting on the long bar. Another Tetris for Grand Designs, making the comeback happen. Orlando, however, is able to fire back. Tetris from Orlando, 593 to now 513. Both players playing this level 19 phenomenally. Grand Designs, Tetris ready again. Another Tetris for Grand Designs. 545 to now 596. Orlando, beautiful skim, knocks down the Tetris, maintaining around an 80,000 point lead. And a couple more complications for Orlando. Grand Designs might be able to have a small opportunity here, close the gap by another Tetris. But Orlando gets cleaned up very efficiently this time as well. Grand Designs, Tetris ready, gets the eyepiece over, knocks down a Tetris. 584 to now 637, separated by just under 60,000 points. Tetris ready. Morlando's still working on it. Grand Design safety double into a Tetris. 617. Down by only one Tetris. Has the pace advantage. But Morlando is back in the scoring position. Grand Designs going for a safety build. And there it is. Tetris for Grand Designs into the lead here. But Morlando is Tetris ready. Oh, burns out just barely. Morlando still trying to deal with these pieces, and they're not ideal. Another Tetris for Grand Designs and Tetris for Morlando. 685 to 685. Down by only 3,000 points. Morlando gets the eyepiece over, knocks down a Tetris back into the lead. Grand Designs trying to get Tetris ready. Beautiful placements right there. Goes for the skim. Morlando trying to survive. Tetris for Grand Designs, but counter Tetris for Morlando. 755 to now 725. Grand Designs has lines in hand. Another Tetris for Morlando. Beautiful flat burn over there for Grand Designs. Doesn't see the adjustment or doesn't want to go for it. Tetris ready. Takes the safety double. Another Tetris for Morlando. Grand Designs actually needs every Tetris here. Grand Designs has to play perfect. Unless Morlando tops out right now. Morlando knocks down a Tetris and that might have sealed the deal. Doesn't look like there's much that Grand Designs can do. Has to go for an extra Tetris. Goes for the double. And it's not going to be possible unless Grand Designs has been working on rolling. Can't hit the quick tap, and Grand Designs is going to top out at 752. But what a respectful game from both players. Grand Designs pulling off the comeback, taking the lead at some points. But unfortunately, just at the end, played a tad bit too conservative, and Morlando was able to capitalize. What a game! But Morlando does take the first heart of the set. When both players are ready, we can get game number 2 underway. Nah, GD, you played great. Thank you so much for the raid Classic Tetris League. I know I didn't give it a word of mouth shout out. That was a great game, Grand Designs. All right, we have it ready for game number 2. Morlando is 2 games away from securing the win for the Wavey ones. But can Grand Designs get a stop here? We're about to find out. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Grand Designs, make sure you are tabbed in. Oh, we can't see your gameplay if you can hear me. There we go. And, oh, Morlando. A lot of complications here. He is finding good ways to navigate down. Unfortunately, he has to just put a lot of weight on top of that hole. And Grand Designs, in a, I wouldn't say a similar situation, but is going to have to do some burning as well. And, oh, Morlando. Dirty Tetris for Morlando. And if there was something that was impressive about Morlando's play, it was just, I guess, a lot of the aggression that was on display on Morlando's end. There are definitely some placements that Orlando could have taken a more conservative route to go about resolving it, and Orlando decided to go for like essentially peak efficiency, or a chance at peak efficiency. And you can really see in the case of last game, it really paid off, especially on those last 3 levels, where Grand Designs had to essentially play perfect from that point on. Orlando had probably one of the best level 26 through, better yet, the best level 26 through 28 that I've seen here on the Gauntlet playoffs, at least for his respective division. But all things considered, both players are in a pretty even situation here. And Orlando, once again, another Vitz. If I didn't know any better, say spending too much time hanging around Jordan, who unfortunately didn't get to play because SV kind of no-showed. It's known for setting up a lot of aggressive Vitz setups. And sometimes they work out. They definitely worked out more this season than they did in the past season. But speaking about things that are working out, this game is working out in Orlando's favor. 120,000 point lead, and halfway through the pre-transition. As a matter of fact, this is the kind of Orlando that we saw last season in Gauntlet, who was once, I believe, almost undefeated throughout all of the regular season with the exception of the All-Stars. Had a 6-0 record as a Platinum player. And this is the kind of play that you would see from Orlando that season. $163,000 point lead from Orlando at 324. Grand Designs gets the board under control, and no perfect clear, unfortunately. But the stack is clean, so I mean, I'd say that's a pretty good constellation prize. There's touches for Orlando, 349. So far, things are looking pretty stable on both players' boards. Orlando's going to be able to continue to put the pressure on Grand Designs. Even though there is a slight line discrepancy, this is a true lead from Orlando of at least 100,000 points. Beautiful spin over there from Orlando. And honestly, this set is looking to be like Orlando's best set of the playoffs. Orlando knocks down the Tetris, is going to have some minor cleanup to deal with. Grand Designs looks like it's kind of starting to claw back at this a little bit. Orlando will be transitioning shortly. One more line will take us to transition from Orlando, and Grand Designs actually is a lot closer in score than it appears to be. And Orlando's going to transition at 505, another 500k transition from Orlando. Grand Designs at 399. There it is, touches for Grand Designs. Orlando going for conservative burns. Getting hit with a good old-fashioned gauntlet drought here. And refused to burn at first with that S. Does get the eyepiece. Grand Designs transitions around 425. And Orlando setting up for something dirty. Might have went a little bit too aggressive. And that's the top half from Orlando. Grand Designs, you need 525 in order to take it. 93,000 points remain. But no chase down is free. 82,000 points remain at this point. That is around 3 Tetrises and a triple. There it is. There's the Tetris for Grand Designs. Set up for another one. Another Tetris for Grand Designs. Oh, beautiful decision making. One more line should do it. And there it is. Grand Designs complete the chase down. Beautiful game right there. Expert level chase down. Very nice discipline on the stacking. We are now tied 1-1. Alright, both players are ready to get right into game number 3. We are now tied up 1-1. So let's see if one of these players can change that statement. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Right, start things off. Both players having some clean boards here. Grand Design is getting hit with a drought a little bit early, so Orlando going to be able to take advantage, and it's real easy to compound a lead here at the beginning, especially whenever your opponent is playing perfect. Grand Design's actually getting a lot of difficult pieces to deal with. That eye piece is going to be wonderful. I like Grand Designs' approach, finding a way to just burn it down. There's Tetris for Grand Designs. Orlando off to a flawless start. Grand Designs knocks down a Tetris. Orlando had a little bit of a slowdown, so now we are separated by half a Tetris, and Orlando still having to take a good amount of burns here. Both players do knock down a Tetris, so Orlando's going to eke out ahead very slightly, but looks like we got a pretty close game here on 18, which generally hasn't been the story in the last 2 games. Story in the last 2 games, at least in game number 1, is Grand Designs not having a strong transition, but managing a comeback in the post-transition. But Orlando in the last 3 levels had just some peak efficiency play. In game 2 was just simply survival. Grand Designs being able to outlive Orlando, showing that aggression isn't all that there is to the game. So game number 3, the story that can be had, definitely is intriguing to say the least. Fortunately, Grand Designs, oh, actually, I like that. Smart placements avoids building up a particular dependency. Fortunately, Grand Designs didn't see that particular adjustment for the O. But speaking about seeing adjustments right now, Orlando needs to get the board adjusted as soon as possible. That triple is going to help. And this is an opportunity for Grand Designs, unless Orlando wants to go dirty with this. And why am I not surprised? Morlando's going for it, and Tetris for Morlando. Able to find a way to kind of hold off Grand Design's advance on the score. As Grand Designs runs into yet again another drought. And oh wow, those are some tough S pieces. Grand Designs needs to get that I piece over. Nicely done. Well is open now for Grand Designs. Does an I piece actually come? Meanwhile, Morlando going to set up for a slightly dirty left low Tetris. And Grand Designs getting hit with another drought. Couldn't utilize the I piece. Grand Designs is ready for it, but now is LJ dependent. My gosh. Grand Designs is actually getting beat up here. Is handling the pieces very well. Just can't get an I piece when the well is open and time to score. And there it is, finally Tetris for Grand Designs. There's one thing to be said about Grand Designs. His drought management is absolutely on point today. Has dealt with a lot of unfavorable pieces, trailing by 81,000 points now as Morlando continues to go for this slightly dirty left low Tetris. And is actually going to swap it over to the middle. Yeah, he's going to actually commit to this. No, it's just going to take the triple. Has a perfect opportunity to burn out. And isn't going to squander that away. And Morlando knocks down Tetris. 422 for Morlando. 316 for Grand Designs. Yet again, down by this kind of 100,000 point range. There's Tetris for GD. Morlando will be transitioning on the next burn line, or rather the next burn line now. Morlando's gonna commit. Grand Design's just gonna take the triple. 392 transition for Grand Designs. Morlando playing a little bit with fire here, but does find the Tetris early on 19. 498 now for Morlando. Grand Designs not a comfortable position either. This is going to be tough. Makes a small adjustment. All right, good L piece. That left side hits the quick tap. Very pivotal right there. Needs to still find a way to get the stack down. L or J would be perfect. All right, there is... Oh, nice. One more L piece. That centerpiece is open. Just going to take the triple. Great dig by Grand Designs. Down by 143,000 points, though. Morlando still experiencing complications. So this is Grand Design's opportunity. Fortunately, the pieces aren't necessarily the best. Morlando's almost out of this as well. S-burst over there for Grand Designs. Disgusting. Still trying to find good pieces to navigate through this. Takes the triple, just going to go for the safe approach. Morlando almost out of this. And there's not really too much that Grand Designs can do. At one point, you know, Grand Designs is playing this conservatively just for survival's sake, but also the lead just isn't shrinking, and if Morlando can find a way to get out of this perpetual dig, this could be dangerous for Grand Designs. Down by 140,000 points is no joke, especially as we get further in. Morlando, as a matter of fact, is almost out of it. Grand Design still trying to find ways to navigate through. And Grand Designs is set up. Dirty Tetris over there for Grand Designs, decreasing the lead. But Morlando dug out, down by 100,000 points. Hardly any line discrepancy. Let's see what Grand Designs can do. Morlando going for a column 9. Grand Designs up high. And, alright, good pieces right there. There's the Tetris for Morlando. Grand Designs needs an eyepiece. Yes, it still has a way to survive. And, that's going to do it. Grand Designs tops out at 494. Morlando's good for game number 3. It's a really tough game over there for Grand Designs. Not really getting conducive pieces to really kind of get out of the stack. All right, both players are ready, so let's go ahead and count them down. Orlando is on match point. Orlando wins this. The Wavey wants to take this set, or this team match. Here we go in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Grand Designs needs to win this game in order to force a decider and to give the Millionaires one more chance to win this match. In terms of one more chance, allowing Miles to play Sidnev to bring us to a sudden death. Start things off. Grand Designs now the one with a flawless opener. There's touches for Grand Designs. Start things so far 145 to now 165. Orlando is able to find one Tetris of efficiency more than Grand Designs. Orlando having to deal with a drought here. Has ample opportunities to burn, not taking any of them. Oh, that misdrop. All right, Orlando gets the eyepiece over, but this is not an easy dig. Now, we've all been used to seeing these high-level digs performed by rollers, but to my knowledge, Orlando isn't a roller and is going to have to play this a little bit on the careful side. It is still definitely down stackable, just needs to be careful. Any kind of misdrop like that and just be game over. Orlando's committing to the adjustment. Nicely done. The well is open. Welcoming for a long bar, and there it is. Tetris for Orlando, 229 to now 224. Grand Designs keeping the stack clean. Make sure it hits that quick tap on the T. It's going to bring the stack down, get that left side into a more comfortable state. Meanwhile, Orlando back in order. Had a little bit of a scare there, but things should be fine. 253 to now 257. Another Tetris for Grand Designs. Orlando gets an eyepiece as well. Tetris for Orlando. 304 now. The players separated by 3,000 points. Grand Designs with technically a pace lead. Just playing 1% more efficient. There's Tetris for Orlando. 350. Another Tetris for Grand Designs. Orlando now going to have to build up the stack in order to try and deal with that. Oh, actually, this is a lot more complicated. Wait, is Orlando actually going to go for this? No, it's just going to take the triple. This is a good opportunity for Grand Designs, who is now Tetris ready. Orlando can't score until that hole is dealt with on column 2. Spent quite a few lines on dealing with it. There's one Tetris for Grand Designs. Tricky pieces. Grand Design is going to commit to the double. And this is starting to get a little bit dangerous. Orlando knocks down a Tetris, goes into the lead. 410 to now 378. Grand Design's having to recuperate, or rather consolidate the stack in an attempt to try and recuperate the lead that was lost. Orlando, oh, nice adjustment on the eyepiece. Going to allow for a conversion of a Tetris as Grand Design still struggles to get the board under control. However, there is a line discrepancy between the two. So we could be looking at more or less a tie game. Orlando playing in the center here, nearing transition. Oh, the hang! Orlando's going to top out at 436. Grand Designs needs a Tetris and change to do it. And we'll take game number 4. Wait, hold on. This drought. Alright, one Tetris will do it. Grand Designs opens up the well. 6 lines left till transition. And there it is. Tetris for Grand Designs. We are going to a decider. What a game. But both players are ready. Let's go ahead and get them counted down. Who is going to take the decider? Is it going to be Orlando or is it going to be Grand Designs? Here we go in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Grand Designs has fought hard for this. 2 games, Orlando has won by simply being more efficient. 2 games, Grand Designs have won by simply outlasting. So the question is, if the game goes the distance, will Grand Designs be able to match Orlando's efficiency? Or is Orlando going to find a way to combine survivability with efficiency and give the Wavey ones their first match here of the playoffs? Well, the playoff finals, rather. And, ooh, Grand Design's a little bit of a tricky sequence to deal with there. Just find a good way to navigate through. Orlando getting a little bit of taste of what Grand Designs got in game 1. Not as deep. There's Tetris for Grand Designs into the lead. Orlando getting hit with tough pieces. Finds a way to bring the stack down. Grand Designs He's getting in a lot of trouble here. Has to survive. And, oh. Has to bring this down. Oh, couple of misdrops. Needs to get eyepiece over. Needs to get something. Gonna try and go for the L flat burn. Oh no! And Grand Designs is gonna have an early top out. The first early top out of the set in the decider. The Wavey ones have done what no other team has managed to do in the entirety of the season of Gauntlet, and that is beat the Millionaires twice throughout the season. They stay alive. Overall match score is now 2 to 1. So we will be going to a game 4. But we're still going to give you guys a captain's match between Sidnev and Miles. So do stay tuned while we get that set up. Oh. Ha ha ha. Next cam and we're good to go. Registrations will be opening up at midnight for players that are above the threshold that will be revealed. I'm still working on trying to figure out what's the best way to balance, so there will be a reworking of tiers. But the registration process is going to be a little bit different than how it normally is. It's just been a very rough week. Pretty rough weekend. Well, you got a max, so you'll be fine. You'll be able to make it in the top division, guaranteed. It's just for players that aren't at whatever the PB threshold is. So then they'll either be put in the Mino League, or if they don't meet said PB threshold, or if they do meet the PB threshold, then they'll be able to play in a big boy league. And I have a couple ideas for the Mino League. I think it's gonna be pretty cool. SV just no-showed. Yeah, there's a Mino League, and there is the regular league. Or I guess you can call it the Ascension League, since that's what next season is going to be called. Essentially, the goal is to be able to be inviting to players of all skill levels, including those that are completely new to the game, instead of gatekeeping playing in a team format by you having to have like a certain PB requirement. So there's like 3 tiers of the Mino League. You'll essentially get like 3 badges. You have your Mino badge whenever you're first getting started out. You have a Domino badge whenever you reach like T2. Then you have your Tri-Mino badge, and it's like you reach like T3. And then you'll have your Tetramino badge, which is when you'll start to become eligible to be drafted by a team. I think it's a pretty cool concept. I just thought of like randomly one day. It's like, yo, for the Mino League, for each division of like player skill, I can like assign them a different part of like a block. So you have a Mino, then you have a Domino, then you have a Tri-Mino, then you have a Tetramino. I thought it was, a little clever. But I could be wrong. Tri-Mino, it's not Tramino. It's Tri-Mino. Pretty sure it's Tri-Mino. If not, then I'm making it Tri-Mino. Because there's 3 Minos. I think it's pretty cool. Alright, both of our players are finishing up their warm-ups right now. So... Of course, this only impacts the overall ending standings, as the Wavey ones have already won the match overall, but we still like to always do the captain's match, treat you guys to something nice. So, coming up next, we're going to have Sidnev. There will be. That explains how the entire system will work. That's why I haven't, that's why I'm saying tonight, because I got kind of swamped this past week with job applications, submitting voiceover proposals, and also just a whole bunch of other stuff. So hopefully within the next couple hours, I'll be able to have majority of what's needed whipped together so then people can start registering for the upcoming season. But yeah. Anyways, so for our final match of tonight, you're going to have your captain's match, Miles versus Sidnev. Now, if we take a look during the regular season, Miles had a phenomenal regular season, 11-2 record, post-transition index of 85, average score 708, and average rated, or not average rate, but rated transition at 71%. Sidnev only has Miles beat in terms of average transition at 567. But if we take a closer look and we see how Sidnev has done just purely in playoffs alone, we see a stark change. Sidnev undefeated in sudden death, average transition 547, high transition rate of 88%. Average score, and this is the kicker, average score is 920,000, and the post-transition index is just as high at 128,000. Now Miles' record should say 3-4, and Cinev's record should also say 3-4. These are playoff stats from the previous match, so but is definitely, Cinev has shown to be a different kind of animal here in the playoffs. Came in as a strong tide. That being said, both of these players are, in fact, finishing up their warm-up, so when they are ready, we can get started. That is correct. Yo, Monthly Tetris, thank you so much for the raid. 46 people, you're just in time to see the captain's match. The Wavey Ones has successfully won this match, as you can see by the 3-0 score up top. However, that doesn't mean that it's over. They still need to win the next one to force a match 5. Millionaires is still up 2-0. Hope you had a blast wrongly with deathmatch. So you went 6 hours today. Something along those lines. Yep, that is correct. Transition is level 19. And it's at 130 lives. Alright, both players are in fact ready. So, let's go ahead and get game number 1. The captain's match counted down. As of right now, the only thing that is on the line for these players, since the match is already technically concluded, is Elo. So here we go in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. So here it is. Miles able to win the last game up against Cinev, allowing the Millionaires to take a 3-1 victory. And might be an opportunity for Miles to make it to where it's at least a 1-3 loss. I don't think we've seen a 4-0 happen. I definitely haven't seen it happen here in the playoffs, at least up to the semis. It might have happened in the quarterfinals, I'm not entirely sure, but it definitely hasn't happened past semis. So, Wavey Ones could also do another first. And they are, of course, the first team to ever beat the Millionaires twice. Every other team that has played the Millionaires, I mean, the few teams that have beat them, the Drywellers, Sparks and Minos, Stochastic Squad, they have been unable to defeat the Millionaires twice throughout the entire season. And the Wavey Ones are the first team to do that. Of course, the Wavey Ones had just such a phenomenal end season. They lost the first 5 matches of the season, and then they came back and won the last 9 matches of the regular season and kept it going all the way into the middle of playoffs, having, I believe, a 13-match win streak. A 13-team match win streak, which has never been done. But as of right now, Miles experiencing some mild complications. And that line piece is only going to burn 1 line. Cinev, pristine stack, just waiting on the eyepiece. Of course, RNG for Gauntlet has been decent in general. $218 now, 231. And Miles still not getting ideal pieces here. And both players actually having to deal with different kind of complexities. Cinev, I only say that because it was going for a Vitz, but Miles now in dig mode. Hangs the eyepiece on top, and an early top out from Miles, so Cinev is good for game number 1. Tough top out over there for Miles. But All right, both players are ready. So let's go ahead and count them down in game number 2. We're going 3, 2, 1. Tetris. All players do get things underway here for game number 2. Next season, I've almost finalized all the designs for the team jerseys. So players will be able to actually have a jersey to represent their team coming into this upcoming season. And plus, that would be a crazy photo op as soon as CTWC have everyone wearing their jerseys, and we'll take like a Gauntlet team photo, or not team photo, Gauntlet class pic. I think it'd be sweet. But that is the goal. And we'll see where it takes us. And Sidnev, experiencing early complications, does get a nice split double. Able to knock down a Tetris. Unfortunately, is going to be spending a lot of time trying to navigate through this. And Miles, clean stack, only has taken 2 burn lines, can take definite advantage. And Sidnev, wow, playing up tremendously high. Sidnev's not careful, could exchange the gift that Miles kind of gave them. There it is, dirty Tetris for Sidnev. Bring the stack down, finds a way to potentially open this up. And Miles, kind of complicated situation developing. Does get some good pieces to go for some pretty creative burns. Ooh. Like that. Sidnev still kind of struggling to get back into the Tetris scoring position, but does get all the right pieces. Now just holding up with the long bar. And kind of through our first little opener session, Miles has been able to build up almost a 100,000 point lead. Sidnev definitely playing with fire here. Has taken the necessary burns to avoid getting burned. There it is, Tetris for Sidnev, 172 for Sidnev, 261 for Miles. So just looking pretty calm here. Tetris for Sidnev is actually starting to make a small comeback in terms of score, but pace, Miles definitely has the advantage. Of course, Sidnev also quite ahead in lines. Tends to happen when you're up that high, burning lines at such a rapid pace. Tetris for Sidnev and goes for the Vits. Of course, in the first time, getting into that situation, if I'm not mistaken, Vits was a pretty big cause of it. Beautiful, repetitive tucks. There it is, Tetris for Sidnev. 444,000 for Miles, 319 for Sidnev. Sidnev still trying to find... Oh, actually, those are perfect pieces. Love to get a T-piece or something. Oh, definitely would love a T-piece. And hit... No, misses the T-spin. Unfortunate. $355 for Sidnev, $514 for Miles. Miles with a misdrop. First really major misdrop that we've seen on Miles' board in a while. Sidnev down by 159,000, and of course still is ahead in lines. But we can see Miles potentially have an even bigger lead at transition. There's one Tetris. Sidnev can try and grab two more. Holding out for all the right pieces. Has to go for the double, and there it is. Tetris for Sidnev. Gonna transition at 428. Miles has 3 Tetrises left in hand. Potentially a little bit... can get the 600k transition and achieves 600k points. Looking at a 635 if a Tetris, or if the long bar can come when Miles is Tetris ready. Sidnev knocks down a couple of quick Tetrises on level 19. Miles transitions at 635. Well, players are going here on the post transition. Tetris for Sidnev, 528 now. Miles holding up for the long bar, counters Sidnev's Tetris. Beautiful spin hit right there for Sidnev into a Tetris. Both players just firing Tetrises back and forth. 683 to now 555. Miles trying to avoid creating particular dependencies. Hits the T-spin. Just needs a couple more pieces to help get this board back into a Tetris scoring position. Is set up. There it is, Tetris for Miles, 712 to now 583. In the lead by 127,000 points. Another Tetris for Sidnev. Trying to fight back with Miles here, but almost a level and a half ahead. It's going to be relying on some 29 play if things keep up at this rate. There it is, Tetris for Miles, enduring a 20-piece drought, and another Tetris for Miles. Sidnev now, on the other hand, trying to get the board back into a control position. Opens up the board, and opens up the well, rather. Knocks down a Tetris, and looks like, no, not going to try and set up for any fancy shenanigans. Going to just try and deal with this independently. And unfortunately, RNG isn't necessarily too cooperative as Miles knocks down another Tetris, 811 and now 661. Sidnev now only a couple pieces shy of being put in a Tetris ready position. There it is, just waiting on the long bar. And Miles is having to do some burning, so Sidnev has an opportunity here. There's one Tetris right there for Sidnev. Goes up to 693. Nice little double for Miles. Looking for another eyepiece. That's going to be another double. Still trying to find a way to navigate through. Tetris for Sidnev. Starting to close the gap, down by 3 Tetrises in terms of score. Miles still has a hefty pace advantage, though. Sidnev now trying to get Tetris ready. Beautiful adjustment. Tetris for Sidnev. Miles almost there. Lead has shrunk to now only 67,000 points. Miles opens up the well, just waiting on the long bar now. Sidnev going for a column 7. Tetris for Miles. Starting to be able to fire back. Sidnev's going to continue to maintain for this. Going to go for the double. Beautiful tuck sequences over there for Miles. Tetris for Miles. Able to get that T-piece to tuck underneath. And then Tetris for Sidnev. 814 and now 902. Miles is Tetris ready. Sidnev is getting built up for the Tetris. There it is. Tetris for Miles. Goes up to 934. Sidnev, on the other hand, looking to try and find some kind of way to resolve this. Only 10 lines left till 29. Setting up for something dirty. But no, not going to play it too risky. Only 5 lines remain before 29. 2 more lines left. And Sidnev goes to 29. Has to survive with this kind of board. That left side's looking a little bit dangerous, but Miles is also in a dangerous situation as well. Miles looking for the right pieces to survive. An eyepiece would be beautiful. There's an eyepiece. Opens up the well, but Sidnev's going to top out, so Miles is good. And gets the Tetris for the max out. We are now tied 1-1. Once we have it ready from Sidnev, we can get game number 3 underway. All right, both players have given the ready, so let's go ahead and count them down. Here it is. We are tied 1-1. We go in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Start things off. Miles actually opening up with something a little bit unorthodox. He's going to be looking for an O piece to slide underneath there. And an O piece is nowhere to be found. Oh, there it is. Holds out long enough and manages to get away with that without having to take any burns. Going to go for the line spin and misses the line spin. It would have been perfect, but now this is going to be a little bit more on the costlier side for Miles. And Sidnev now the one with the perfect opener. There's Tetris for Sidnev, 114. Flawless 20 lines. As Miles tries to get things in order. There's a Tetris for Miles looking for it. Oh, that's actually going to work out flawlessly. Beautiful 5 below over there for Miles. Down by 77,000 points. Sidnev had to take one burn line. Another Vitz by Sidnev. Really just trying to maintain as much efficiency as possible. See if Sidnev could actually take us to the 99%. Definitely possible, but I mean, considering just how rapid Tetrises are being fired off over here for Sidnev, almost up to 100,000 point lead, and Miles doesn't necessarily have a bad score where we are currently in the game. And oh, that square piece is going to force Sidnev to burn. Just no other kind of place for it. Couldn't really set up any kind of like T-spin or some kind of overhang, so Sidnev had to commit to those 3 burns. But 321 for Sidnev, 228 for Miles, roughly around the same line count. So Sidnev just starting off with a basically flawless opener and maintaining almost that flawless Tetris rate all the way up until this point in the game. I mean, hasn't even burned 4 lines worth yet, and Miles is going to be doing a lot more burning than 4 lines. Miles, it does actually find a way to get set up for a dirty Tetris. Unfortunately, RNG wasn't entirely compliant. Miles, another misdrop. S-burst to accompany said misdrop. Talk about insult to injury. We could add a top out on that soon if Miles isn't careful enough. Needs to get an eyepiece and hangs it on top of the right. Another early top out for Miles means Sidnev takes game number 3. All right, we got it ready from both players to get game number 4 counted down. Can Sidnev complete the team sweep, or will Miles bring us to a desire? We're about to find out in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Oh, we're seeing a little bit of kind of similar to actually Grand Designs of Orlando, those kind of parallels, where Miles is kind of like in the situation of Orlando, being the player with more efficiency in terms of the games that, or rather the game that Miles did win. Well, Sidnev is the player that just simply had the survivability in places where Miles was unable to survive in terms of games 1 and 3. Oh, that's a couple of untimely Z's. Fortunately, an eyepiece does come to help mitigate some of those rough sequences over there for Sidnev. Right now, things are looking pretty stable. Miles not going to go for the Z-spin. Sidnev another Vitz, not surprised. But decides to create a little bit of a delayed burn. Going to commit 3 burn lines as a result. And it was holding out for perfect pieces. It's something that can surprise. Miles hits the S-spin. And Tetris over there for Miles. Still a little bit ways up on the board. Actually, Miles needs to be careful. Oh. This is a tough dig for Miles here. And Miles is going to have another early top out. So Sidnev takes game number 4 and completes the team sweep. There was any kind of way to take momentum of the grand finals here in the playoffs. That is certainly one way to do it. But of course, that's going to conclude tonight's matchup. And the Wavey ones stay alive here in the grand finals. So far, the Wavey ones are down 2-1. They need to win match number 4 in order to bring us to a decider. And the Millionaires just need to win one more match. Tonight, Gauntlet Ascension will be opening up registrations. Now, registrations are going to be working a little bit differently. You essentially kind of have to try out. You're going to be playing 10 games straight, and all your scores must be recorded, so early top outs count. This will be a part of what gets submitted to the team captains of next season, so then the drafts are going to be a little bit more fair. It's going to take into account your PB and your ELO, but also your performance. So that way, there can be some people that might be like smurfing in ELO or just had like a rough spell, but can play pretty solidly competitively. This will hopefully add to allow a little bit more balance next season. So that is one thing. Also, if you are newer to the game and have a low PB and you want to participate in a team event and you don't want to go up against players like Miles or Sidnev, then there is also a Mino League for you too. There's going to be 3 divisions to the Mino League, maybe 4, depending on how many people we get. And you'll be able to experience the team format while going up against people around your same skill level and not have to worry about people maxing out on you every single game. If you want to find out more information, then join the Gauntlet Discord server. There should be an announcement going on sometime around midnight tonight. Midnight Central, if not a little bit later. But, yeah. Anyways, we're going to send a raid to somebody. See if there's T-Storm is doing a restream, so let's raid T-Storm. But more information will be coming out very soon on Gauntlet Ascension, because that is going to be what next season theme is. So anyways, I'm your favorite underwater host, Sharky, and I'll catch you in the next match of the Classic Tetris Gauntlet Overdrive Playoffs.